Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, and beings of indeterminate or changeable gender. Welcome to These Are the Voyages, episode 2 of series 1, in which, confusingly, we are dealing with episode 2 of series 2 of Cryptic's weekly episodes, Spin the Wheel. We are off to Drozana Station once again, where, well, to be perfectly frank, not an awful lot's going to happen. This episode is very similar to episode 3, I think it was, of the Breen series, whereby it's mostly exposition and information. And I suspect that's probably going to form the subject of a rant very shortly on my part. So, Drozana Station. Yeah. Why do I get the feeling the Ferengi have been skimping on their maintenance? I mean, look at the arrangement. They really need to get that fixed. Still, I suppose if it's not profitable, they won't go for it. Anyway, one of Section 31, or indeed the Klingon Intelligence Service's field operatives, has hit her panic button. You call her a double-timing traitor, I call her a sensible, independent freelancer. Depends how good her information is. Anyway, the Ferengi have got a little bit of a technical hitch. Namely, their replicators are balked, and they want somebody to fix them. Guess what? They'll trade us the info if we go fix the replicators. On the bright side, we do finally get to find out what this whole empty cargo bay on Drozana Station was for. After all, that is, well, yeah, it's been there since the beginning of the series, and it didn't really do anything. Now it does. Now, yeah, you would think at this point I'd just get on the comms and beam over my chief engineer. But no, that would be too simple, and it would kill the only major problem in the entire episode. I'm not kidding. This logic puzzle, because that's what it is, I'll give you one hint, start with the replicators, is simply the meat of the episode. Which is a damned shame, because if you're in Drozana Station and you want the challenge, switch off your zone chat. Someone will spoil it within the first few minutes of you arriving. The lighting being on the fritz doesn't exactly help either. That is supposed to be an odd effect for atmosphere, not a constant, well, can somebody please go and change the bulb moment. Anyway, Cryptic seem to have this idea, and I don't agree with it, I'll be quite upfront about this, that episodes should either be combat or non-combat. You either shoot things, or you talk, stroke, scan, stroke, pound until they work. And, well, no, not really, because you can mix the two. Why don't you mix the two? Oh, and thank you, whoever put a cover shield in front of the door. Ugh. Lowest common denominator, I ask you. Anyway, back on topic. Cryptic will say that you have combat episodes and you have non-combat episodes. You either shoot things or you don't shoot things, and that is the way it has been so far. Well, why can't you mix them? Why can't you have, say, a situation in which you're aboard a derelict ship, hostile ships, say the Undine, are beaming aboard boarding parties every minute or so, and you have to split your attention between fixing the deflector shields to stop them beaming over, and fighting off the boarding parties already on the ship who are trying to stop you. So half your team's shooting, half your team's fixing. Now that could be in fleet actions, STFs, even solo, because you can control your away team. And yeah, why not? You've got the function to control where your away team stands. You can control who they shoot. To be honest, I've gone through my whole solo career and not really used anything but everyone attack this dude and everybody follow me. That's it. So why not play more on those mechanics? You've got the UI there already. Anyway, back on topic. One Dubbo table, one... Oh good lord, her cover's shot, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, and she's also totally paranoid. Well, no, actually she isn't, because let's face it, paranoia implies that people aren't out to get you. And for those of you who've never played Klingon, do so. Go and play an episode called Bringing Down the House, and you will discover just why Yuzral is drowning his sorrows. Yes, you have quite a lot to do with it. So she wants us to go play Dubbo, and in what is one of the quickest covert message relays ever, the holographic leader doesn't really hang about. In fact, you only have to play the Dubbo wheel once. There was some suspicion that you'd actually have to play until you got Dubbo, but yeah, no, you don't have to. As the hologram says, we'd have been here all night. Now, privately, I think Cryptic missed a point here. Who would suspect a hologram of being a spy? I'd have made the holographic leader the agent. Okay, so we have Davidians all over the place. They're breeding, evidently. Worse than tribbles, if you ask me. So we are off to case 7. I will quickly edit out the trip, because it's only a short hop across Eta Eridani. The lab isn't very well signed, but it's on the opposite side of Club Case 7. In fact, it's right next door. Yes, hazardous biological materials and weaponry right next door to alcohol. The contact's actually in the lab. You don't need Icheb. You need this dude. And for those of you wondering what the guy in the force field's all about, yeah, he is actually tied into a mission that starts on Memory Alpha, if my memory serves. So, yeah, more exposition, and I appreciate that Cryptic have got to get the plot across somehow. I appreciate that there were episodes of Star Trek that got quite philosophical at some points, but I don't remember one that was basically talking heads for 45 straight minutes. Cryptic, please mix the episodes up, mix the action and the exposition a little more, because literally this is it. Well, it's not entirely it. There are actually 2 rewards. One of them is the synchronic proton distortion prototype Dubry What's-It proton distortion big zogging gun. Let's leave it at that. It's quite nice actually. I'll cover that in a future vid. The other isn't even documented, but you will have noticed that you can now get comet cocktails. And like all new types of food, it didn't take people very long to look at these and think, I wonder what will happen if I feed this to a tribble. So we did feed it to a few tribbles. 12 Fleet fed it to quite a lot of tribbles, as did quite a few other people. And yeah, the results were actually quite entertaining. There is a new type of tribble in the game, the triolic tribble, and that will also feature in the video to follow. Anyway, Drake is giving out one of his usual motivational spiels. This guy's never going to have a career as a guidance counsellor. I have been Yuzral, and that, most regrettably, is it for episode 2. I'll see you next week.